Oh man, it feels like the first time all over again. It's been a minute since I've been in this seat, so I'm a little bit nervous about how we're gonna be received. If you can hear the sound of my voice, you are listening to His, Hers, and Ours, a real life couple holding real life conversation with some real life friends. I am your co-host Solomon Davis with
your lovely other co-host. Yeah, actually, I'm sorry. Your better
you're nervous
half.
too?
Yeah, I'm nervous, like first beginning all over again. Your better half, Shannon Royal Davis.
So why are you so nervous? I mean, you've done this over and over and over again.
Yeah, I just think that week off, a week away, just got a little lazy. So you get kind of in a comfort zone and you just forget about all of this stuff.
Forget.
Yeah, I
like
did.
riding a bicycle, though.
Nah, you know when you look, I bet you jump on a bicycle right now and you a little rusty.
I'm riding no hands.
Nah, no hands.
You want to jump on the handlebars?
No, I don't even trust that. That's okay. Absolutely
I got
not.
skills.
You'll be a little wobbly or some junk at first trying to get it. Them knees be giving you a little nudge, a little crack here and
Told
there.
you we weren't all born with a silver spoon in our mouth, Mr. Royal. So bicycles are the way. I'll never forget how to jump on a bike and get it going.
Whatever.
So what's up? What's good? How's it been the last 14 days?
It's been pretty good. I want to shout out for first off, I know we closed out Mental Health Awareness Month and we had some guests and stuff that we had to kind of shuffle some things around, so they'll be on the show, later this month. But it is a Pride Month. So I do, want to give all the LGBTQT plus everything. I'm not good with all those acronyms and everything. So I just want to shout them out.
All right, that's what's up. We also want to give a shout out to our man Serge Gotti in the building, producing us, producer extraordinaire.
Woo!
Tell us, Fat Man Scoop, how everything went down.
Yo, it was awesome.
Yeah,
it was awesome. Unfortunately, Shizzle couldn't make it, so it was just me and Alfie hanging out. Mm-hmm. But it was cool because it was just
you had Alfie hanging out.
Yeah, I had Alfie hanging out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was fun. I got him out of the house.
I can take that.
He was out there taking pictures. We were just chilling.
Gotcha.
How was the show?
Oh, it was awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't realize who he was until the song came on. I was like, oh, wait.
Oh, his voice.
Yeah. I was like, oh, wait, that's who that is.
Gotcha.
Okay, bet. Gotcha. Yeah, no, it was cool. High energy. A whole lot of people in the building. Shout out to the Brown Boxer North in Clearwater Beach. Y'all go check that place out. Yeah, it was real fun. Shout out to Don P for the invite. Yeah, I had fun. I had a blast. It was nice getting out. It's been a minute since I've been out.
Exactly.
Yeah, and since the world opened up, I
really
feel a difference because we're spending a lot of money out here trying to be out here in these streets. So yeah.
Yeah, and with the world opening back up, get ready to catch some His, Hers, and Ours doing some on location type stuff. So y'all be prepared.
Absolutely.
But let's hop right into this. What you got going on? You said you had a couple.
So
of topics.
I wanted to touch on some topics that were in the news this week. Within the last few days. First off, I'll jump on the one that I know you're gonna hate, but you're gonna jump on and you'll get into it. So Monique went on live, and a lot of people have been complaining about her talking about wearing bonnets on airplanes and just out in public. Mm-hmm. And I know you and I have had that conversation in the past in the confinement of our home.
Right.
What are your thoughts on that? Because people have had a lot to say. Some people were in agreement, others were like, mind your business.
I mean, to each his own. What you do is what you do. My opinion, I got to keep it real. I think it's ghetto. Mm-hmm. I honestly do. I mean, if you use it as a protection for your hair, laying it down or what have you, you don't want it to get messed up because you paid X amount of dollars to get your hair done. Yeah, okay, I can understand that. But still, there's a place for it. And, you going out in public, if you pay for your hair to be done, represent with your hair. Gotcha. Why you on a plane? Why you on a bus? Why you in a car driving? Why you taking your kids to school? Why you in the grocery store with a bonnet on? I don't see it. Not saying that I'm right. To each his own. Mm-hmm. What you do is what you do. But as for me and my house, we gonna serve the natural.
Serve the natural. Your wife got a perm. Stop playing. However, I tend to agree because I think we've gotten so comfortable with just leaving out as women, and I'm just saying, and it not necessarily be older women, middle-aged women, they don't necessarily so much do it as you see more of these younger women that's in like their, early 30s, that kind of thing. They tend to do it a lot more. And I think that we've gotten so comfortable with it, like we think it's an outfit or something.
Right.
And that tends to bother me because you don't like for people to box us all in and assume that we're all one type of way. You and I often go at it about it because you don't even like me wearing a bonnet to bed, but you've gotten used to it because you understand hair has to stay in place.
Well, but I mean, like in your situation, you knew I didn't like the bonnet. You made the adjustment. I mean, it was a compromise. You go with a scarf.
Yeah.
I mean, this big billowy thing on the top of your head. I mean, if my bedroom is my inner sanctum, where my sanctuary, to whereas my domain, my kingdom, and I want my queen
satin pillowcases, buddy.
I want my queen to be comfortable, but yet sexy to me. I can't see that happen with a bonnet on.
Right.
And
so that's why you was dodging me.
If we gonna tell the truth, I mean, how many times have we gone to bed early? You thrown something on your head, and then there's a knock on the door, and all of a sudden you rip it off your head and run downstairs and open the door.
It's nothing like that. I think, like you said,
so I can
it's
see
confined.
You like that, but they can't see you like that.
If they came into our home, I'll keep a scarf on for the most part. I don't really run around with a bonnet on my head. That's just not my thing. And although I've been, whether it's braids or whatever the case may be, I've always kept one. Just because it kind of, as a little girl, you learn that take care of your hair. You absolutely, like my dad taught us that. We went to the hair salon every week at one point, and my dad had 3 girls and a wife. So you paying for all that hair. He was like, yeah, y'all need to tie that up. Tie that down. Make sure they keep it fresh, whatever. So I understand that. I just think that we've gotten so comfortable that we'll wear them wherever we're going.
Is it comfort or is it lazy?
Oh, that's a good question. It can be a bit of both. It could be a bit of both. Comfortable because when you're going on those trips, you want to keep your hair looking nice because you could be getting off the plane to go, get right onto something like an event. For example, on our anniversary, I was running late. Let's say I was in a car trying to tie my hair down because I knew that I was rushing. I didn't want to sweat it out, and maybe I would have had on a bonnet. That was to protect my hair. I was going with you. It wasn't anything about it. Some people just, don't see the difference in it.
Yeah, but you have to understand that people may not know you, may not have the opportunity to talk to you one-on-one to get to know the person you are, and they're going by first appearances. And if the first thing I see when I talk to you or see you is a bonnet, I'm going to have some type of negative connotation towards that. Forgive me for prejudging you, but I'm sorry, we all do it. And so if people don't understand that there's a stigmatism that comes with that, then I'm sorry.
I get it. I think the world look at us a little bit different, and it kind of boxes us in, and it plays to me in a way where it allows us to be ignored as black women, because there could be something wrong, but the fact that my appearance may look a little bit different, you're overlooking what I bring to the table. For example, if you were out at the store and there was naturally a line, someone was waiting in line, do you not know, like a lot of times that those people were like, okay, so assuming that the person who's fully dressed is the person that was probably next in line rather than saying who was here first.
Like I said, negative connotation.
Yeah, they overlook you. So I think that we draw that kind of attention to ourselves. I don't really condone that. Even when we had a kid and she was playing sports, we did more of a tie up your hair if you're going to do that versus the kind of bonnet thing. So I get it. But I think to each his own. If they feel comfortable with that and they don't mind, being looked at or stared at, that's their choice. For me, that's not my preference. I know that you and I have had that conversation when we've gone into like Walmart or whatever the case may be. And you tend to see it a lot at Walmart versus when we go to Target, you really don't see that. And that's funny.
But here's the thing now. Like I said, I agree with what Monique said. But she kind of not put herself in the spotlight now. She better never be caught with one.
Absolutely.
Ever.
Absolutely.
Because it's going to be hypocritical.
Well, people were already going at her because she did it in a robe and her nipples were showing through the robe. Like, we're going to tear apart everything you said because you're coming at someone in a way of, I think people should have taken it as someone teaching you or just like giving you some knowledge versus somebody trying to chastise you. And I think people were taking it as chastisement.
And then from that, from a Monique standpoint, my opinion on that is the fact that now you're talking about pretty much your audience, because we all know there aren't too many whites out there talking about, oh, we got to go see that next Monique stand up, or when that next comedy come out on Netflix with Monique. You know, she's basically talking about African American females who make up, you know, half of her
majority,
audience.
The majority of her audience, because and I don't think she thinks about that in that way. I think she, like I said, she's just trying to share, and she was coming from a place of, I honestly took it as a place of honesty. Sometimes we don't like to hear what's, the truth. Mm-hmm. I agree. You shouldn't be jumping on airplanes. You shouldn't be in the stores with a bonnet on all day. Like, come on. Like, I think I could see where she's coming from. I really felt like it came from a place of just being a woman and trying to teach us to do better. When you know better, you do better. Okay. Versus just trying to chastise someone.
Gotcha. What else you
got? So also on that note, in the news, we looked at Naomi Osaka. Now, we're just coming off a month of mental health awareness. And she withdrew because she had anxiety, basically going to like a post-game, a post-match press conference. Right. And she said that, she withdrew. Immediately, they began to, they're fining her and she's going to be penalized. And they started sending all these threats out until other people got behind her. And she said she's withdrawn because of mental health. Why is it that black woman is always at the bottom of the totem pole? Because it could have been anybody else in that arena of tennis. A white woman could have came out and said she's skipping it, and it could have been mental health, and it would have been fine. But they had to wait to hear the backlash from other athletes who were a part of that, stepping up, the Serenas, the Venuses, the Cocos, those people who actually stepped up to say, hey, I understand it. Mm-hmm. I get it. And so they started to share their knowledge. But they were really trying to, ridicule her at first, and they thought it was a game until people started supporting her. And then she finally, withdrew from the competition. But I think if you have that level of anxiety, let her mental health be, let it be what it is. She said it was that. It wasn't like she was losing. It wasn't like she came off a loss. Mm-hmm. But just the fact that they were about to chastise her, then they had to come back and recant and say, hey, we support her, but you chastise her first. Why is it that black women are treated in that way, that when we're telling you something is wrong, it's ignored and it looks like we're being angry, we're negative? What is the problem with that?
I don't think it was black women. And first of all, let me with Naomi Osaka, she was first brought to my attention when she beat Serena in the U.S. Open, and I had no idea who she was at that point in time. Just this young kid coming up, right. African Asian American, doing her thing. And then when this came out, it made me do a little bit more research on her and to realize that this girl already at such a young age 23. Has garnered over $50 million in earnings
and endorsements.
She's
off the court.
Right now the number 3 ranked female tennis player in the world. So I think where I criticize somebody like a LeBron for when I say he's not the greatest in the NBA, but what he has empowered these athletes to do is take power and understand that we can control what we do and how we do it. For her to say, I'm going to withdraw from this tournament, the French Open, which is one of the majors in tennis, that's going to shut down some of the fans that are coming, because a lot of people were coming to see her.
Absolutely.
I mean, they're anticipating a finals between her and either Coco or Serena or what have you, a matchup that would have, sold out their center court. And the fact that she withdraws, that brought a lot of attention negatively to the French Open that I don't think they were prepared to handle. Then the backlash that they caught from people like Venus, from people like Serena, from Coco Gauff, it was, now the black woman is being heard and understanding that you're in a sport that it wasn't designed for a black woman to dominate.
Right.
Until Venus and Serena came on the scene, and now you see them, inspiring the Naomi Osakas, the Coco Gauffs, and what have you, the Sloane Stevensons. Mm-hmm. Now you have young black women that are saying, hey, I want to be like them. Mm-hmm. And now it's going to be just like it was in baseball. You never thought that we would have black pitchers on the mound, and then you get a Dwight Gooden and what have you, who inspired other black players to come up, the Darryl Strawberries. And unfortunately, they're off the field, lives kind of overshadowed what they did on the field. But,
absolutely.
These are people that came from little of nothing out of the hood that we saw here in Tampa every day.
But, check this out. It overshadowed it in our eyes. We were embarrassed, and it's the shame. But people, I'll say Caucasian people, took it as they needed help. They had a drug addiction. They were trying to figure out a way to help, versus us, we are always the hardest on each other. So I think that that's something that as a culture we got to move away from and progress with the times. We got to stop being so hard on each other. I think this week when we watched the whole Mike Tyson thing, the Mike Tyson series that was on, it was a really good series.
I missed it. I'm going to check it out.
Yeah, go back and watch it on Hulu. Man. It's really good. Both episodes.
It's really good because it actually, you lived through it. So if you're in your like late 30s, mid to late 30s, you should have seen some of the stuff that was coming up. I would say late 30s and early 40s, or so on. You should know about some of the things that took place. And he really was crying for help. And we couldn't see it that way. We were just watching it like, come on, Mike, pull it together. And not understanding that he really mentally was not there. I looked at the situation with the woman in Indiana.
Desiree Washington.
Yep, Desiree Washington. And I can remember as a kid or a teen, I was like, man, my daddy always told me ain't nothing open after 12 but legs and Waffle House. Always told me that. You know, like, ain't nothing open but legs and Waffle House. Get your behind home. I get it. So for me to see this woman go to his hotel room after you had ignored his advances several times, but you decided to go, I'm thinking to myself, like, what in the world was she thinking? But I criticized her for even going, not being angry at him as a man for not being able to control himself. Now, I don't know what happened. To me, in my mind, I never thought that he would rape her. But I wasn't there. I can't, like Reggie say, can't speak for another man. I can't speak for a woman. But I can only say that I think sometimes we put ourselves in situations that give a different light to it. But for me as a young girl to take the negative approach, like she shouldn't have been there anyway. Like she deserved it almost, kind of like that attitude. And it wasn't that I was saying she deserved it. I was just kind of saying you get what you looking for in a sense. And I think that that's why I said, as a culture, we got to change and condition our mind to not always look at the negative of what happened and kind of look at it from a holistic perspective.
I agree wholeheartedly on that. But let me ask you this. Now, let's say before watching that show, that series, did you think that Mike actually raped her?
Nope.
Okay. Do you think that she went in on a money grab type ordeal?
For me, honestly, I think that at that point in his life, because it was so much stuff going on and he was paying lawsuits left and right, I think women sometimes we look at things as an opportunity. And I think that was an opportunity. She knew he was aggressive. She knew that anything she said would go against whatever, because the image he was portraying, she knew that it would be on her side.
Right.
I never thought that and I don't know what happened in that room. I don't know if she told him no right then, but that was when my dad started having conversations with us really hard about being specific about what you do not want. If you're in a situation and you don't want sex, like speak up, scream, make a noise, like make it known. For you to be in that space, I can only say it was a traumatic experience for her, but I think that I never thought that he did it. I just think that it may have been a possible opportunity because people had their hands out.
With that, I'm a little bit, it angered me because now at 43 years old, I can say I've seen 3 prominent black males whom have fallen because of reputation at the allegations that a female brought. So Mike Tyson with his rape allegations. Tupac with his rape allegations, where Tupac vehemently denied it and stated that he was an innocent bystander in the room and protected her more than anything. And now the Bill Cosby situation, where recently Bill Cosby just denied parole because he said refused. He wasn't going to a sex offender program.
Absolutely.
Which, if he's innocent and believes he's innocent, I wouldn't do it either.
Right.
So I stand by what he's doing. But I mean, going back to the whole Mike Tyson situation and how we're viewed as a culture. This is one of those things where I can remember my dad telling me as a kid, every black man you meet ain't your friend, every white man you meet ain't your enemy. And to know that this kid came from a broken house home, had been incarcerated, learned how to box while in jail, and this old white man, for whatever motives he may have to, I want to raise a champion, or I see the financial gains that could come from tutoring this kid. he did show Mike an unconditional love.
Right.
And I do believe if Cus D'Amato had lived a little bit longer, Mike never would have gotten into some of the situations he was involved in.
What you want Cus to live till he was 100? He was 90 when he met him.
I understand that,
Not
but
trying to be funny.
you know,
But just-
to know the relationship that Mike had with Cus's wife and what have you, the people he tried to put him around, and then it was all of a sudden the people who's supposed to have your back, black folks. Once Cus is gone, once your manager passed away and what have you, you get involved with Don King and some of this other entourage that you bring along. And I mean, when they say the most powerful thing on this world is a woman's vagina, I mean, what Robin Givens did to that man, that Barbara Walters interview, to watch that over again now at 43, when I first saw it at like 17, I got a whole different look at that. Right. A whole different narrative was created. Y'all basically tried to embarrass who was basically considered the second most famous athlete in the world at that point in time, behind Michael Jordan.
Right.
He might have been more.
I was gonna say he probably
more
was
famous
more
than
than
Jordan at that
Michael
point in
Jordan.
time.
He was famous. He was more famous than Jordan.
So I mean, you guys tried to bring him down. This little known star on a TV show that just because you're the only black female in Hollywood right now, think you got a little bit of clout. This was before Halle Berry and, Whitney Houston hadn't really made her big come up yet. So
I honestly looked at Mike Tyson's story with a different set of eyes, looking at it at 42 versus, being about 20 something or 17, 18 years, like as his story was going through, like he was going through this whole change in his life. I looked at him and I was like, gosh, it's always true what my mom said in regards to what makes you think that a kid who comes from nothing knows how to manage money?
Exactly.
Mike never knew how to manage money because he never was shown that. They were holding it for him and keeping him at bay. So no one ever, even Cus D'Amato, never sat down to teach him about money and where his money was going. Cus could have been robbing him. He don't know. He never took the time. All he said, even in that interview, was that all I know how to do is fight. He didn't have any money management skills or anything. So he was easily, anybody that portrayed a father figure to him, he was drawn to them. So it was those people who showed him love because he enjoyed being able to feel loved. And anybody who did that, he was almost like a sucker for them.
But you can't tell me, with as many affluent black men that are out there these days who have some type of influence, nobody could have said, let me go talk to this dude, especially when he was in prison, and said, you know what, and Al Sharpton or Jesse Jackson.
Al Sharpton was there, but he knew what kind of, like, he was into politics.
Right, but it's like this. Hey, Mike, listen, let me bring you under my wings. Let me show you how things are supposed to be. Don, exactly. Let me get you away from Don King.
But Don would have. You heard
because
how they said
like
Don didn't even let other black people get around him like that.
Like you said,
if he didn't have his hand in his pocket, he never really let anybody else of power get around him. So the first time that he started feeling freedom was when he ran into the Tupacs, other people that were in the same space as him.
Right.
So why not you say, hey, why Michael Jordan didn't reach out to him?
Well, I mean, in the same situation, you got guys whom, while he's doing his thing, they're trying to become the best at their craft.
Right.
And it might not have been in Jordan's mind frame at that age. What Mike was, incarcerated back in the early 90s. So he's going through a three-peat on that point in time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he can't really focus on what the next man is doing. He's trying to be the best of what he's doing. And even if he had time,
it ain't striking me.
I mean, I don't think Michael Jordan would have been the man to do it or what
That's
have
some
you.
stuff LeBron would do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. I'll agree with you on that.
Yeah.
I can agree. But, I mean, LeBron's the perfect example. And like I say, for all the things
that you don't like about LeBron.
No, trust me. I like LeBron as a basketball player. He just will never be the greatest of all time to me. Okay. But for what he does off the court, he has transcended the word athlete. I mean, he's the greatest athlete I know off the court. Him and Muhammad Ali. I mean, those two. And I do agree with what Serge just said. LeBron would have been one of those dudes that, hey, Mike, let me talk to you. Let me put my crew around you.
He would have probably sent one of his people over to him. Yeah, absolutely.
Let me put my crew around you. Understand how this thing really works. All you got to do is concentrate on what you do in the ring. Let these dudes do what they do, and they'll take care of you. I mean, since 16, 17 years old, LeBron's been in the public spotlight. Hasn't made a misstep. Hasn't been caught out there with the infidelities or this, that, and what have you. His crew has always protected. And don't give me that eye, because you can't tell me LeBron ain't never stepped out on Savannah.
I'm not saying that. I don't know what go on. All I can say is he's the
there
best.
proof?
Right. Find it and let me know.
He ain't see it. He ain't see it. It ain't happen, right?
Savannah
That's how it
handling
goes.
that.
If there's no
I'll be
proof,
saying, for him to
never
be that
happened.
young, he's the family image that both he and Savannah, and you done seen Savannah pop them children in public, so she is a real black mama. Like, they were on a float at the parade, and one of the kids did something, and she hit him in the back of the head, like, don't do that. So I think they're a phenomenal couple at their age. You look at how much like spotlight and everything is on them. For them to be a couple, they've done a dynamite job of just really maintaining.
I mean, I give LeBron all his props. You know, his longevity in his career, what he's done off the court, what he has with his wife, with his family, raising his kids, got a kid in the public eye, you know, with Bronny doing his thing. And so all applause off to him.
Even when Bronny got in trouble for like going on Instagram Live with smoking weed. So people immediately like, I can't even scrutinize. To me, he doing the same thing most of these kids doing.
Out here doing right.
They doing it. He just happened to, y'all caught
that was
Snapchat.
Like the biggest controversy was when Bronny got caught with weed. We didn't even get caught with. He just got caught smoking. But also, wifey was in the owner's box blowing down too.
Right.
And LeBron was like, "Yo, put that down. The cameras is watching." But other than that,
and see, that's the one thing about LeBron. I think he's always conscious about what eyes are on him. You know, I remember when the Indians were playing the Cubs in the World Series.
Yeah. And
LeBron was in the box, and you know he had a beer, and he knew the camera was on him. He had to put it down real quick. I mean, he's always image conscious and knows that he's a brand.
Yeah,
and he
knows people can be watching at any time,
and they'll scrutinize him for it.
Yeah,
because he does have this clean image, so he tries to protect himself at all costs, and I can respect that. But back to Mike Tyson, he didn't have those kind of influences around him. Right. He didn't take his struggle of being poor and push it in the same direction. LeBron, his friends are all people that he grew up with. You know, they grew up in the same struggle. Not everybody was as poor as he was, of course, but they all learned together. It ain't nobody around him in his circle that was older than him at the time. Everybody was in his same circle. So that's something that you have to look at. When Cus took Mike away from all of that, he had no one else to fall back on. Only the people that Cus had created around him. And then when those people started to fall off, like somebody died and those different things, we like black folks, we have a mentality. We be crabs in a bucket. Let me see what the next quick opportunity is. Let me see what the next come up is. And that's how he got abused in that situation. So I think even with the money and the power thing, that's where he became the angry Mike. When you see him, like, that's why I said with the woman, that woman situation, I don't know what happened in that room. I think she may have been an opportunist because she knew he had a quick temper and she knew to stay calm enough so that when she got out the room, I could say whatever I want to. And because of his image, they would believe whatever she said. Me personally, like I said, my dad always said ain't nothing open but Waffle House and legs.
For real. I'm definitely gonna check that series out.
Absolutely, I think you should.
I've been on the 30-30 for kick too.
Really?
Like, this whole week I've been watching all the old ones.
You okay over there? Do you have COVID, brother?
Is that your first drink?
That was the first one.
It's strong. It is. It's strong. It's a whiskey, a peanut butter whiskey. So yeah.
Oh, the peanut butter kind?
It's a peanut butter whiskey.
Oh.
It's smooth. It's really nice though. It is.
Those are way too.
So
much
with him coughing all in the mic, can we go to our first break? We need to come back and let him regroup.
Let's do that.
Thank you. We'll be back.
Honestly, I'm trying to stay focused. You must think I got to be joking when I say I don't think I can wait. I just need it now. Let it swing my way. I just need some dick. I just need some love. Tired of fucking with these lying niggas, baby. I just need a thug. Won't you be my plug, ayy? You could be the one, ayy. Get started with a handshake, baby. I'ma need more than a hug. Girls can't never say they want it. Girls can't never say how. Girls can't never say they need it. Girls can't never say nah. out. Girls can't never say they want it. Girls can't never say how. Girls can't never say they need it. Girls can't never say now. Oh, now, baby. Give it to me like you need it, baby. Want you to hear me screaming, heavy breathing. I don't need a reason, baby. I want it till you can't fight. I can give it to you right, baby. I wanna be a healing. I can be real good. Please don't get in your feelings. Hey, I need some love. Hey, I need some love. Hey, I need some love. Hey, and you can't judge.
You don't really call on me like you should. Link up, I'll roll through the hood. Problems, but everything's all good. My love, your nigga doesn't want smoke with me. Nah, no way. Trust me, it's all okay. Trust me, it's all. You just need someone that's calm and patient. Submission, domination. Arch back, deep stroke, white wine, we smoke. That's my best combination. You just need some dick with no complications. You just need some. You just need some late night attention, unconditioned. All that you're missing, my babe. Fucked up, shouldn't even have to justify. I get it, I'm on your side. Guys get their way all the time. Besides, pleasure not meant for one side. You should just do what's best for your mind. How about I just take my time? You call up my line, I fall up inside you. Girls need love too, I know.
Girls need love too, yeah. Girls need love too. Girls need love. Let me tell you something. Girls need love. Girls need love and girls need love too. Girls need love. So what's a girl to do? She needs love and girls need love too.
Hey, welcome back. It's your co-host, Shannon Royal Davis, and my co-host,
Solomon Davis, who's finally caught his breath.
I'm glad. Are you together, sir?
I mean, that peanut butter whiskey kind of hit me a little bit hard, but I'm back in the building.
Like somebody punched you. Did Mike Tyson punch you?
He might have felt me talking about himself.
It was Brian, because you was talking about him a little too hard.
No, but, I mean, really quick to finish on what I was going to say on that before I lost my...
Go ahead. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I did that in reference to Bron choking. Nah, like I said, big ups to LeBron for what you do as an athlete and redefining that. But I want to say, and going back to that whole Mike Tyson, series that we watched, it is so impressive to see how that man has bounced back and turned his life around and
rebranded himself.
Exactly. I mean, to go from being absolutely broke, he made close to $120 million fighting before he went to jail.
Yeah.
Came back, had the whole Evander Holyfield debacle, and then towards the end of his career getting beat by no-name fighters to hit rock bottom, basically.
But the thing about that and the power in that is that, like, this whole, like, how mental health is so, like, we're so conscious of it now. To see him struggle through that and for him to really embrace that part of it is the most impressive thing to me. Because for you to go back and you ask Oprah to bring Evander Holyfield on the show.
Yo, Red says you can't hear.
Oh, so we mute. Sorry.
My bad. That was my
Rewind.
Go ahead, sir.
Now, basically what we were saying in those couple seconds that you couldn't hear us
like
there,
a Kung Fu movie.
It was me stating that it's been very impressive to see what Mike Tyson did in this second part of his life that he's going through right now, after bouncing back from, being incarcerated, to the whole Evander Holyfield situation, to, being beat by no-name fighters toward the end of his career, hitting rock bottom, being absolutely dead broke, rebranding himself, getting himself together right mentally, actually seeking a therapist. His new wife has really, played that role in his life, stand behind him, getting with Spike Lee, doing, live stage shows talking about his life. I mean, the man has really got together. It's a whole different Mike Tyson than what we knew, in the 90s and early 2000s.
But to see his growth, like the process where he really sought out the help and he wanted to fix those things and understand why he was so broken. And he said the best thing, that one of the fights after he lost to some no name, he said the fight just wasn't in me, and he sat on that was when he sat on the chair and didn't get back out of the ring. He said, I realized it's not in me no more. And for you to admit that as a man, and that's the thing, men, y'all struggle with being able to express yourself emotionally. And I don't know if that's something from childhood, because you're taught to be so brave and so this and that you're not able to bare your soul in a way of just simply telling somebody, hey, I need your help. And I think that we got to get away from that. But for him to seek the help, he set up an interview with Oprah to have Evander Holyfield come on there because he needed a mediator. So he still was this guy with a name. He reached out to the right people and they worked it out. And for him to have that apology, he still go back. Even you'll hear him now. He's like, for that man to accept my apology because I wronged him. That was big. That was a part of his whole healing. And from then on, it just seemed like he was on an upward trajectory in the sense of just trying to get his life together. It wasn't about the money or the fame for him at that point. It was just about being the best version of him he could be. So now you get to see these clips of him on a hoverboard, bust his ass, but you get to see that person. And people were saying, even when you watch that as these athletes, to be at a top tier level, they have to take their minds in a special place. Like they are, have to be in pristine condition physically, and then they have to go into a dark place mentally because they have to be able to just find a way to win.
Do things that other people wouldn't
do.
I think the most impressive part to me, though, to see where he's come full circle was the whole Teddy Atlas situation. For Teddy Atlas to be a protege under Customato, training Mike as a kid, and to know that Mike had a situation to where he had beef with Teddy because the way Teddy would basically discipline him and would coddle him all the time. So when Teddy brought his family around, there was an 11, 12-year-old niece, sister-in-law, what have you, that Mike touched, just to get under Teddy's skin. Teddy being the protector, stepped to Mike with the gun, and when Tyson told Cuss about it, he got Teddy out of the camp. But to come back damn near 35, 40 years later,
at a fight that he didn't even go to the fight to see the fight. Actually, he went there
to the building just to
see
Teddy Atlas was broadcasting that, and to think that what this man's career could have been had that incident not happened, what Teddy Atlas could have been
done for him.
Yeah. If Teddy would have been in the camp after Cuss passed away, Teddy might have been the one to take the reins,
Absolutely.
So, Teddy's a good guy too.
Exactly. But
he's so fair. I do like when I watch fights and stuff, it's fair. With him, it's just about boxing.
So to see him, actually make his way through all the ESPN security and what have you, and seek out Teddy and say, what, I'm truly sorry, man. I apologize. And I understand how many people he's wronged in his life and didn't really know what he was doing. Didn't know what he was doing, and now he's trying to, make amends for that in this second part of his life. And all I can do is say at this stage in his life, all I can do is applaud Mike Tyson.
And that just goes to show you how a good woman will help you, too. Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah, his girl helped him. So why I gotta pull that out you? That goes to my other thing. I had a topic in here in regards to, I saw something on a show that was saying how, why is it that men are so afraid to celebrate their woman, their significant other or whatever on social media? I'm not saying you, I'm just saying in general.
Because I was getting ready to say, because there are certain things we've had conversations about where it's not I that doesn't celebrate the significant other in this relationship.
Oh, no, it's not that. Don't get it twisted.
Okay.
Anywho, it was to the point where you see these women have these MCMs, but you don't never see him throw her up as that WCW. Why is that? Why do men who are in relationships, whether they're, married or just out here dating, whatever the case may be, but you got this one that you find a winner, you traveling, you're doing all these things, why do men struggle with that?
You want the real answer?
Absolutely. I wouldn't ask you otherwise.
The real answer is go back and look at these guys that women are posting as MCMs.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Are they guys whom women are looking to date? Are they eye candy? I call them the quote unquote bad boys.
Okay.
And It's MCM Man Crush Monday. I'm going to post this picture. I can't see myself in a relationship with this dude, but oh, girl, he's so fine.
Oh, wow.
I want to put a picture of him on my page.
No, but there'll be women that'll say, oh, it's him for me. I know y'all done seen that. Oh, it's him for me, but I don't ever see it's her for me.
But 9 times out of 10, if you go to that dude's page, he posted up with wifey or his girlfriend.
Absolutely.
And the girl posting him as the MCM ain't wifey or girlfriend. So why would y'all settle for playing the matey role and not the wifey role?
That goes to, like I said, you got to have a conversation to be and have it clear and understand what your role is. If she playing her role, then she can post them how she wants to. She knows she ain't friends with the other person, or maybe she is, and she just being, women, we try to be slick with each other.
Exactly. So don't. And here's my thing. Women want it both ways. It's double standards all the time. We want a real relationship. We want this. We want that.
You sound like Peter Thomas talking about women want a real man, but they wear fake eyebrows, eyelashes.
Hey, listen. I mean, let's call a spade a spade. Y'all want a relationship. Y'all want this man. He's got to be your end all be all. Y'all Mr. Everything. Y'all knight in shining armor. But yet you posting your MCM who's got this bad boy image, whom you already know that he's probably with somebody. Why are you posting another man as a woman's man as your MCM?
I don't know no woman who got a man for real and y'all got a title and she posting somebody as her MCM other than her son or him. Okay, that's a problem for me.
No,
he need to speak up.
Single women out there who say I want a relationship, but yet you posting somebody else's man as your MCM.
I can't speak for them. I ain't do that. I don't know.
And it happens on the regular. As a matter of fact, my man Franklin Saint from Snowfall, he was on Twitter, and women destroyed him on Twitter when he posted, why won't women just come out and tell a dude that's been texting them, hey, can we meet up, that, hey, I'm not interested. Y'all will lead a man on, and with no intentions at all of meeting him face to face. But on social media, text messages, y'all will let him think
because they're considering themselves as flirting. They're just flirting with him, just kind of keeping him at bay. I don't think that they see any interest in him. And sometimes you just don't want to hurt people's feelings.
Basically, he's saying y'all are just looking at it as something to do.
Could be. Just like those good morning baby texts and them, hey cutie, that kind of
texts. Y'all send
the
good morning king text as well now, so don't get it twisted.
Look, they send them out. I'm not mad at it. I'm just saying it's no difference. It's the same thing. Everybody's looking for some type of attention. And as long as they know that you're texting them, at least they got one in the pocket that they feel
right,
like, hey.
But from a man's perspective, if I'm texting you back and forth and you like, hey, are you going to take me to lunch or we going to get together, what have you? 9 times out of 10, a man's going to say, hey, yeah, when you want to get together.
Right.
A woman will text you for 11 days and not have any intentions of ever meeting you face to face.
So can I ask you, why do the men keep texting them? After the third text and they still airing them?
Because we still got a chance.
Exactly. So y'all say no, it's a chance.
Whatever. So y'all are a glutton for punishment is basically what you're telling me.
No, but what have I always told you? A man has to work harder than a woman does to stay relevant.
Absolutely agree.
A woman wants a good time for one night. All she got to do is pick up her phone. A man's got to stay relevant, so when he's trying to get with that woman.
So that's why she ain't responding back like y'all going out nowhere, because when the opportunity presents itself, she may hit you and be like, yeah, I'm ready for that date. Ready to cash in.
Yeah, but like he said, when you have no intentions whatsoever of meeting this dude, why not just say from jump, hey, you're nice and what have you, but I ain't feeling this. You ain't my type, what have you.
I wish women would be that honest. I know a lot of women who are, but I know a lot that aren't, and they will play those games and let you just keep texting their phone and just playing them games. Girl, this ain't nobody. I get it. So I don't know.
He'll buy me lunch though.
Yeah. Oh, I can get a meal up out of him. Yeah.
And y'all like that.
That's fine. I mean, it's like, so you got, as a man, again, y'all got to be better at nonverbal cues, because no response is a response. You understand that, right?
But you texting, like you said. You responding back.
Like saying what?
So he'll say, hey, beautiful, how's your day going? You respond back. Blah, blah, blah. How was your weekend? How was your holiday? What'd you do for Memorial Day? You giving him all the info he wants. He says, hey, listen, why don't we grab lunch? Oh, I'm busy today. So he'll let that day slide. The next day,
is she always busy? Yo,
pretty much.
So then that's on you.
But
as
until
a
she
man.
says no, I'm not interested.
Man,
I'm gonna keep
then
trying
you
to.
just keep sending them text messages. 'Cause
Rome
she
wasn't
gonna
built
keep
in a day,
doing
so
it.
he thinking that he building Rome.
Whatever. So I saw something also that was posted. Justin LeBoy, his page is hilarious. So he put on there, and I know he be getting these quotes from other people, but he says, when you're liking somebody, do you ever go look and see who pictures they like on social media so you can see what they liking? So I'll be honest, I do. That's how I see it. Solomon, what you liking all these pictures for, buddy? Let me know what's going on. So why do guys be up here just on and falling into these thirst traps? Be in relationships, but you fall into these thirst traps.
I mean,
how's that?
It's at that point in time, it's entertainment.
Oh, okay.
If I'm at home watching a basketball game, thinking, all right, LeBron's gonna keep this game close, even though Phoenix is gonna win, and all of a sudden it's a 30-point blowout, I'm gonna pick up my phone and start scrolling through Instagram.
So just liking stuff.
Just liking.
Just liking, but I was looking like a thought. This is so disrespectful. I don't even know what to do.
But you was a thought with a good engine. You in the garage. They might not have no good engine. I don't know what's under that hood.
Whatever. No, I'm just curious because when you're dating, like I think people when you're liking somebody or you're actually dating them is two different things. You know what I'm saying? So it'd be more pure entertainment. Let me see what Solomon liking. Is he on here just up here thirst trapping or what? And it'd be funny to me because you're not, we talk about this kind of stuff, so we joke about it. It doesn't bother me at all. But at what point, like if a person you're dating, does that become a conversation for them to have? Should they even have that conversation?
It's not a conversation because it would be the same thing of me getting the same entertainment, just not pushing the like button on Instagram or on Facebook.
You better smile and keep scrolling.
I'm still scrolling. I'm
Smile
still looking. So what's the difference? Me being upfront and honest and saying, "Hey, I like this picture."
So
man.
now with liking those pictures, she might say, "Oh, okay, let me." When he reach out and say, "Hey, good morning," now I can holler at him.
That don't never happen.
Ever.
Oh, whatever.
Ever.
Whatever. Because those likes will lead to stuff like, hey, good morning, beautiful. I loved your picture. And then she's like, oh, thank you. And she notices you like them a lot. And you just hit up, say, good morning, good morning, good morning. And one day she might just take you up.
And?
That's a problem, yo.
What's the problem?
Because you out here thirst trapping.
And that's why we like it. You just said it. One day she might be like, you know what?
That's thirst trapping.
He liked all my pictures. I got
then
him.
so again, y'all go back to what I say. Y'all just looking out there for looks, for likes. That's it. Y'all don't be like you ain't dating for nothing but like trying to see what her mental is. You just dating because she cute. Or she fine, she thick.
Okay. So what about the videos that I've been watching this week that I showed you about old boy that pulls up in a random neighborhood in a Lambo.
Right, with a Lambo.
And all of a sudden
That's
just gets
book.
up and starts walking, and girl ain't giving him no time whatsoever. The second he walks past the car, and like, all right, I'll see you later. Hit
that alarm button.
She's like, oh, that's your ride?
Because she's material.
Okay, so what's the
Good.
difference?
That's material. Not every woman out here is trying to get something from material. They want something with some substance.
I'm going to say in the day that we live in right now, 2021, we're at June 5th, 2021, there are less women looking for substance than looking for a
disagree.
situationship.
I disagree.
I think women now will settle for a situationship.
You said the key word, they'll settle. They're looking for a actual relationship, but they'll settle for a situationship. So I own that. I own that all day.
So the last episode we had Erica and Aisha on, and we had a conversation afterwards where we were talking about a mutual friend of mine, and you know him very well, who's got a reputation in Tampa amongst women.
Yeah.
Nice looking dude and what have you, great guy. My homeboy,
Bro, I'm sitting right here.
Okay, yeah.
I'm sitting right here. Just say my name.
kick it with him any time of the day and twice on Sunday.
Gotcha.
But he's got a reputation with the ladies. You think that distracts the next woman from trying to get with him? Oh,
No, it makes him more valuable.
Exactly.
Time out. Didn't we just see that same thing on the Run the World or whatever on that TV show that we were watching? Where the friends told him, girl, he is everybody. That's community.
he done slept with
they
everybody.
He's for the streets.
Yeah, and they said, man, he get his report card. They was giving him rankings on his report card. But the friend is going through a relationship where she's about to get married. And she's not sure if she really wants to do it or not. Like, she's having second thoughts. Now, the guy she's dating is a doctor. Or she's engaged to is a doctor, African doctor, whatever. and you get this guy who she's like, look, I ain't get that test. Let me test drive him. So she done test drove him, and she's good with it being what it was.
But now she's telling her girls, I don't think I should get married.
Yeah,
because now he done opened her up to a whole different experience.
Yeah,
but it wasn't just that. It was about
she ain't trying to be with him, but now she understands what she ain't missing. It was more to it
because it was more about the career thing too, and how he's a doctor and he wanted her. Like, she was a successful banker or whatever, and she didn't want to give up her career too, because they started to say, oh, you know that doctor gonna make you stop working. And so she didn't want to lose herself in that process too. So that made her think. Then also she done slept with this guy. So she's like, I don't know if I really want to do it. But who was the one catching feelings? The same dude who out here trying to get at her again?
No, he wasn't trying to catch feelings. He was just like, yo, what's up? You know, let me just have some conversation. I just smashed the other night. I'm going to respect you and say, hey, baby, what's going on?
Respect my smash game. That's all it was.
It ain't like I'm going to smash and then totally ignore you.
Respect my smash game and let it go.
Here's the thing. You know, guys have what they call the 80-20 rule. We get 80% of what we need and 20% of what we want. Mm-hmm. You know, that's going to be the best relationship for us.
That's a really good, I like
y'all,
that.
Boo.
No, what y'all will do
really
is
good.
say, I want this. This is the perfect relationship. It has to look like this. And the second it steps outside that little bubble, it's over. I'm good.
Really?
Yeah.
That's how you think? I think we stay in stuff longer. Women will stay in toxic relationships.
You will tolerate things because what did I tell you before? Y'all look for projects.
Y'all
want to say I build y'all up.
Let me tell you how you look for a project. You see her on Instagram, you like her, you take her out on a date, you really realize it ain't nothing in common with her, but she ain't let you smash on the first date. So here's your next project. Let me get her out again. Here we go again. Now you got her out a second time, and when she finally let you smash, then it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I like her. Let me see if she put it down good enough. You're going to still keep playing with the same project over here. Mm-hmm. So don't just assume that women like projects. Y'all like projects too.
Y'all have a relationship theme song that the Queen Bee came up with. Upgrade you. Put a ring on it.
Let me
That's all.
you.
That's all y'all talking about.
She did upgrade him.
Yeah,
He put that ring on her too.
She really did.
I mean, that was.
Don't get mad because that woman trying to empower women to stop just being a piece of meat. That was
equal. She gave him mainstream appeal. He gave her street
Let me
cred.
tell you, we know couples that have been together for 20 years and ain't even married. And I always tell women, it ain't just necessarily about if he done stayed around 20 years and y'all ain't married, something wrong. Something is wrong. Because let me tell you, if that brother fall out tomorrow, what y'all done built together don't even matter. Because if he got a sister, a brother, a mama, or a child,
what's the relationship LLC?
Huh?
What's the relationship LLC?
What do you mean?
Love, loyalty, comfort.
Stop playing with me.
Now it's an LLC.
That's what he said. Relationship LLC.
That's amazing. I love it.
He talking about relationship LLC. I'm like,
love,
what?
Loyalty, comfort.
It doesn't matter about but at what point does it stop being love, loyalty, or comfort? Like when
she
you're
was
being
just
real.
comfortable. If she stayed there 20 years and wasn't married,
why isn't she comfortable? Why he ain't comfortable?
It takes two to tango.
Man, I can tell you, I could throw out a name right now, and I'm gonna write it down for you, and I'm gonna tell you, you got a whole set of kids that's grown. Y'all done been together from day one, and you have no desires to even be married.
And what she say about that?
To me, I think she's crazy because I've talked to her
Hold
before
on.
and said
You
that's
think
nuts
she's
to me.
crazy?
I think that's nuts to me.
That's nuts to you. Does it work for her?
It's conveniently working for her.
Convenient is a simile to what?
LLC.
Comfort.
Whatever. Maybe she is comfort. Maybe she doesn't know that she can do better. Maybe she's scared to try to do better. Because sometimes once you're in those relationships,
meaning she's scared to step out of her comfort zone.
Yep.
Shut up. All I'm saying is the fact that sometimes you get in these relationships and it's not necessarily just the comfort or whatever, because you start to, like, this is how I tell you when I notice relationships be on the rocks. When I can see married people, I know they're married, but your one mate is always on trips. That lets me know, ding, 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 there's a fire. Something at home is not right. And so it's not necessarily that you're just comfortable. You just don't know how to figure out how to really just truly walk away. Because you could be done, and it's not that they're staying out of comfort. You're at that point, you're staying there basically because you still love that person, but you're just scared to just walk away. But I just need to understand, why do you feel like that is just the end all be all? Like love, loyalty, and comfort is why they don't have to coexist like that.
Listen, men are black and white. Y'all see things gray. It's those three. And if you don't understand where each one of those categories fall, and you try to blur those lines, then that's where you're like,
but this is the
you
thing.
You saying you don't understand why she deals with that.
Because let me tell you, she could be staying because he's telling her something else. Like I always say, the women will, if a man really told she was done,
that would be loyalty.
But that's him. But that'll be on him at that point.
Yeah.
That'll be up on him.
It's comfort because listen, if you're saying it's something you wouldn't deal with, you would cut him off. Your whole way of living, your lifestyle changes now because you're no longer codependent on him. You got to do everything on your own. Some women are not with doing that.
No, some people are just scared. It's not necessarily comfort. It's being
you're scared when you're not comfortable.
Well, she's gonna have to get.
See how you're trying to twist things like y'all always do.
Okay, you're right. I'll let you own.
Say that again.
You're correct.
Say it one more time so the audience hears.
Shout out to
Reggie. Yeah. No, I can own that in a sense. But like I said, I think that sometimes I don't necessarily think that it has anything with just like you're just there. You could be there. She could have been checked out every other box.
So you wrote the name down, so I know what you said and who we're speaking of. And we're not trying to put anybody on blast because we got love for everybody.
Well, we ain't talking about no.
But what I'm saying is, you cannot tell me that these people that we're speaking of didn't know. She didn't know what she was getting into going into this.
Well, she's allowed it a little too long because she knew what it was. I mean, I don't know. I don't necessarily know at jump or whatever because I don't know what that person was telling them. Because men, like I said, you can sell us a story. We'll buy into it. We'll fall in love.
But
where's
that intuition that y'all speak so highly of at that point in time?
She done ignored all of. She got on rose-colored glasses. At this point, them glasses.
It wasn't there in the beginning.
They've been there, and I know for a fact that they've been there. Those flags have been there. So people just choose to ignore it.
And so when I get into situations like that, I have to say that. You like the bad boy image. You understand what's being done, and you simply deal with it.
It's about
like we said in the last segment. Going back to the whole LeBron and Savannah situation. Absolutely adore Savannah. I think she was the perfect wife for LeBron in the situation that he was going through. Always been in the media limelight, what have you. Now that he's, basically the best word to define him now, other than athlete, is mogul. So she plays her role. She understands what her duties are. She's not trying to be the wife that's out there in the limelight all the time. She's like, hey, I'm secure. My family's good. I got my 3 lovely kids, my husband, this, that, and the other.
And she's still her own girl. She be doing her own thing. Like she never lost herself.
You cannot tell me she does not think at any point in time, as many nights as this man is on the road, that something ain't happened.
You know what's so funny? This thing called trust. If that trust isn't broken or isn't shattered or isn't shaken in any way, we rest easy. We'll sleep like a baby.
As long as he ain't out there getting caught up.
And
exactly. If it ain't brought to her attention, if she ain't being disrespected,
right?
She's got to know that. He
ain't done nothing because look, with all TMZs and all these people out here, you gonna tell me they can't catch LeBron?
No, I just mean LeBron's crew is tight.
No, that means LeBron is a faithful. Honest husband.
Kevin Hart, he
from
wasn't.
Ohio.
His crew
Listen,
wasn't.
What I always say, you give a man an opportunity, he's gonna take it.
And this man got
this comes out from a kid from Akron.
He got the blueprint.
A kid from Akron.
He got the blueprint on how to make it happen.
The blueprint from who?
I'm just saying.
He must have got it from the Book of Saul Davis.
Mike got
what
caught up too.
It's the
all of them get caught up, and you not gonna. Like
LeBron
I said,
didn't.
That's
why he's the GOAT.
LeBron has been caught up. He just has not been caught. There's been nothing that's brought public.
LeBron is good.
And like I said,
leave that man
I
alone.
love LeBron.
It ain't nothing. I ain't seen nothing. It ain't on the national choir.
LeBron is a faithful husband.
You ain't finna come for LeBron like that. You ain't finna come for LeBron like that. You gotta be mad because somebody acting like they Jesus in the flesh. That's what you mad about because he out here clean.
He ain't
doing
nothing. 99% of the people, you get men and women, you give them one opportunity.
Then nobody's giving him the opportunity.
You crazy.
If the glove doesn't fit, you must have quit.
But that don't mean he wasn't nutter.
Hey, he might know who did it.
But
him.
If he would have did it, he would have did it like this.
What you saying? He up in a hotel room and chick makes up. He's like, "Hey, Mav, take that hit for me."
Hey.
Look, all I'm saying is never been photographed. It's not out there.
At all.
If I ain't see it, it ain't happen. If I don't know, it ain't happen.
Erica sat in that chair next to you. 2 weeks ago and told you, arguably the baddest chick on the planet got cheated on.
Who?
Right.
Beyonce.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Her man had a wandering eye.
He got
What's
caught.
it?
So
He said, "Holler at LeBron."
So basically, you trying to tell me they run in the same circles. They do the same things.
LeBron on the road way more. He ain't got time for all
LeBron
that.
don't get down like that because
scheduled
LeBron
is-
appreciates
So why
his
you?
wife.
So can I ask
Kobe
you
did
this?
too, right? Until
And if-
Colorado.
No, he look.
That's Kobe.
They was
Until Colorado.
young. He was young too.
LeBron was never young.
I ain't saying
So you
that.
trying to tell me
I'm not.
from the time that they started dating
I'm
in
sure
high school?
in high school they
never.
probably. No,
That's not
no.
how us Northeast Ohio guys
here.
are raised.
Yeah, okay.
Surge. Now
That's
in
not
high
how we
school,
do it.
I ain't even talking about that. I'm talking about his grown man once he got married
Yeah.
or whatever. I don't know what they dealt with beforehand because that wasn't in the limelight. Nobody wasn't caring
And she
enough to
probably
know about
beats him.
that.
You never
and
know.
It was
So you ain't gonna cheat on me.
But
I
I'm
choke
sure
you
she
out.
had to deal with that younger. But once a person creates a pattern and a lifestyle in a way of that, this is not going to happen. You'll sleep different.
And especially if that's his best friend, he's not gonna do that. That's his
I
best
don't know.
friend.
Sometimes they stop being your friend.
Yeah.
It ain't,
But you can
what
tell
we
they
say,
got a
Serge,
bond.
They do.
it ain't. It's the bond, yeah. But like I said, it ain't about her not being his best friend. It's just in that moment, poor
There is-
judgment.
Hasn't been any moments.
Poor
Yeah,
judgment.
Can't say
leave
that.
LeBron alone. We gonna take this break because you gonna get off LeBron and sit
You
down.
gonna leave the king.
You gonna leave them alone.
Shout out LeBron James. You got a lot of time to spend at home with Savannah since the playoffs are over with.
LeBron, he trying to act like that, but he was sad too Friday night. Don't play. He was looking sad.
As a Laker
Thursday
fan, I was
night,
sad,
whatever.
but we'll be back. We'll bounce back, and just like the Lakers, we will be back with the next segment of His, Hers, and Ours. I'm Solomon Davis.
Shannon Royal Davis.
See you on the other side.
Yes, sir.
If we had something to prove, life would be normal. Dinner for more, I could be happy with you. Primitive passion, human reactions, putting it all on the line. This could be real life, but why do I feel like we would be wasting our time? See, it's the same thing, no rules, same rhythm, no blues, same love, but this time it really ain't love. No reason, no rhyme, no speaking our mind, no war. That isn't what we came for. I never wondered what this could be. I just fuck you and me. You never wanted nothing from me. I just fuck you and me. We don't ever come to agree. I just fuck you and leave. There ain't really nothing to see. That's why I love you.
Couldn't you picture us giving into love, breaking down all of my walls? You would be faithful, honest and grateful, probably answer whenever I call. I couldn't handle being disloyal, unintentionally break us apart. Nor could I measure the level of pressure I'd be under protecting your heart.
See, it's the same thing, no rules, same rhythm, no blues, same love, but this time it really ain't love. No reason, no rhyme, no speaking our mind, no war. That isn't what we came for.
I never wondered what this could be. I sit on it and leave. You never wanted nothing from me. I sit on it and leave. We don't ever come to agree. I just sit on it and leave. There ain't really nothing to see.
That's why I love you. We would be more if I could deal with the pain. But I can't survive another tumble down lover's lane. The brightest color in an ocean of gray. ain't the same if I care. Ain't the same if you stay.
What we were doing wouldn't make it okay.
But how?
Could it be better when we're making a way? Don't want your heart if you can take it away. It's a better affair when there's nothing to say.
I never wondered what this
I
could
never
be.
wondered what
I just fuck you and leave. You never wanted nothing from me. I just fuck you and leave. We don't ever come to agree. I just fuck you and leave.
there ain't really nothing to see.
We are back. You are listening to His, Hers, and Ours, a real-life couple having a real-life conversation with real-life friends. I'm your co-host, Solomon Davis, with...
Shannon Royal Davis.
One of the things I love about you as my wife is that we can sit down on the couch and we have a lot of interests together, be it music, be it entertainment, be it sports. And the fact that you can hold your own in conversation with anyone about sports is one of the things that really draws me to you. Sundays in fall and winter, we all know in our house is NFL Sundays.
Absolutely. And the Saturdays belong to me because that's college.
I am a little bit annoyed right now with the NFL, and annoyed
To
is a
say the
polite
least.
word.
For real.
They did a settlement where they were letting former athletes, put in claims for possible CTE. And it was now disclosed that they held the African-American male at a lower standard than they did any other race because they said we had a lower capacity to learn, or that coming entering the NFL, our IQs were lower already, and so that the rate of CTE was less frightful.
Correct. Now, to be honest, you could see that a mile away with the NFL. While the NFL is the only one only sport that is predominantly black and is still ran like they're running a plantation.
Mm-hmm.
And for as progressive as we would like to see them, this pace is coming. Like, you would have never discovered this 10 years ago or even 5. It's now that these athletes are starting to own themselves and understand their worth. Like, they're now speaking up. Mm-hmm. And go back to LeBron, courtesy of LeBron. The whole, and I stop.
Sir, shut up and produce.
It's courtesy
shut up and produce.
Those guys are making people see. Look, we have a value. We bring something to the table.
Bring all the money to the
so
table.
now they got to pay attention to us. We got to have some kind of voice. And then now they're dealing with this generation of athletes are a little bit smarter. Before, those older athletes were just getting paid, like making sure the check was there, not really understanding the full context of their different contracts or understanding the longevity of that. These people are like putting in place, even when it comes to the women's sports, like to the WNBA, how they're, from what the guys have done to help push that, has, pushed that forward. But the NFL, I'm not surprised by that. They automatically always, how often do you see them in negotiations with a black quarterback?
Absolutely. I think now, especially at the age I am now and being more aware of the way the world operates, I see things differently than I did, 10, 15, 20 years ago. I remember an interview right before the Buccaneers won their first Super Bowl, and Warren Sapp said, "It's a tragedy. We are part of the largest sports organization in the world, the most popular sports organization in the world, and people don't know our faces because we're hid behind these masks. When we score a touchdown and we celebrate, we can't take these helmets off. It's a penalty."
Yeah.
They want to control us because we're predominantly black institution. Mm-hmm. And it all makes sense now.
It does.
Majority of the players on that field are African American, but the faces of most franchises are quarterbacks and they are not African American.
Correct.
People will not realize that the record that the Baltimore Ravens have put up over the last 3 years is the highest winning percentage in the NFL. But
I
yet,
think it's the Patriots.
I'm
just saying most people.
It's
if
the
you,
Baltimore Ravens, but when you
Right.
look at the number of primetime games that they've been on, it's probably 6th or 7th in the league because the face of their franchise is black.
I can believe
That's
that.
sad.
But I'm saying if you would have posed that question to just someone who didn't watch a lot of sports or just knew and dipped and dabbled in NFL, they probably would have thought it belonged to the Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
Just because of how the franchise is publicized. Or they may have thought, no, they wouldn't have thought it was the Cowboys, but I'm just saying. They would have thought it was one of those because those owners
Well,
are very
and that's what
vocal.
they're saying is the fact you get someone who, I mean, let's be real. Look at what the Cowboys went through last year. There is no way in hell they should be opening up the NFL season this year, the first game of the season against the Super Bowl champs on Thursday Night Football.
They're not worthy. But we can't help how the schedule falls. You
I
know,
mean, just for that fact, I hope we blow them out 52-0. But you know, the fact that Jerry Jones, very influential with the NFL owners, he's got this story now that he's going to propose that, we got a quarterback coming back off a horrific injury and this and that. This is our swan song. We're coming back. We're America's team. I mean, you can see how these owners have a hand in most of these decision making when it comes to how the league is marketed. And unfortunately for African Americans, we don't play a prominent role in that.
not at all. But that's where, like, even there.
And don't get it wrong. I'm sorry when I say that because I know they're going to come in here that Thursday night with a black quarterback. But,
Right.
If it weren't the Dallas Cowboys, I don't think it would have happened.
I can understand that. I can agree. And like I said, I'm not surprised by the antics of the NFL. Nothing with them any more surprises me. When you can fall out and blackball a person for just standing up for their rights, like in the sense of just taking a knee. And look where they're at now. People could take a knee. You could stay in the locker room. You can come out the locker room. Whatever you give them a choice. But that wasn't the case for Colin.
So not even that, and I wasn't even going to go to the Kaepernick situation, but the fact that this man whom took his team to a Super Bowl has been a Pro Bowl quarterback, and now 5 years later, and we're looking at it, could not find a job after taking the approach that he did, kneeling for something that he believed in. But you have a below average quarterback that is now getting another opportunity in the league by switching positions and going to tight end, a position he's never played in his entire life.
Right.
And is making a multi-million-dollar contract because of his longevity and how many years of service he has in the league. So the league minimum for him would be at least $1.8 million.
It would have never happened for any black player that I know of, at least. Like, I can't think of anyone that it would have happened for. I just think that you're living the NFL is the good old boy league. So they're gonna always look out for themselves and people who look like them.
So, I mean, I'm not going to be arrogant or egotistical enough to think that this small podcast called His, Hers, and Ours is going to be nationwide and that,
Right.
These prominent people are going to hear what we say. But in the event that they do, I'm going to go on record and say, when you have someone like a Patrick Mahomes or a Russell Wilson who as influential as African-American can be in the league, they need to take notes from a LeBron James and say, hey, listen, these are the things that we need to do for our league. For our league.
All I'm gonna say is, you see how that went left when one of us tried to stand up and say we weren't reporting, and we wanted to be traded. Now you got all kind of sex allegations going against this person.
Well, with Deshaun, let's look at it like this.
Okay.
You have one person said he's not reporting, and like you said, the allegations that comes about. You have another one says, hey, I no longer see myself with this team, and Aaron Rodgers. You don't hear those allegations coming about.
You don't.
But with Aaron Rodgers, he also has he's accumulated or amassed enough money to where he could never play football again and be fine.
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson still basically just signed. I don't know if he signed his second contract.
He did sign his second contract. That's why he wanted to be able to have rights
so
to selecting the coach.
I don't think he has the leverage that an Aaron Rodgers has. He doesn't. So when you get somebody like a Patrick Mahomes, who now is the highest paid player in the league, somebody like a Russell Wilson, who before Patrick Mahomes was the highest paid player in the league, y'all need to take these stands and say, you know what? My community, my race, we're the ones who really support this league, because without us on the field, you have no product to sell. You got 2 different leagues that are starting next year with the USFL and the XFL, whom if the NFL went dead between the USFL, the XFL, and NCAA football, America wouldn't miss football. We still have a product that we're going to watch on weekends.
Absolutely.
So they say, hey, you know what? We need to come to the table and say, we need to have some changes made. I want to see more African Americans in the front office. I want to see more African American head coaches. That whole Rooney Rule that they instituted, that was a joke.
Right. And then giving them additional draft picks just to interview people, or hire somebody in your head. Like, what in the world was that? That to me was like a slap in the face. I mean, while you're forcing their hand because they can get extra picks. But the fact that you had to do that, to go to that great lengths, so we're good enough to play, but we're not smart enough to coach.
And we actually joked about this. One of the guests we had, Rob Thomas, my classmate at Chamberlain High School, came over, watched the NFL draft with us. One of our classmates, Brad Holmes, is now the general manager of the Detroit Lions. And we sat there and watched and was like, we know Brad knows football. He is not making these picks.
Right.
The general manager is not making the picks. He was a figurehead. I mean, shout out to Brad. I appreciate everything that you've done and with the level you've achieved, so far. But I mean,
those weren't his choices.
Exactly. And what they're doing to us as African Americans, they're putting us in situations where we're gonna fail. They're gonna point the finger at us and saying, "We told y'all they couldn't do it." And then you bring in somebody who's basically, I want to say, the best word I can use is nepotism. A friend of the owners or this and that. We know you. We're gonna put you in that position, and when you succeed, we're gonna give everything to you.
Absolutely. That's just how it works. Now, I can tell you, for example, let's look at it on the other side of the coin, how Portland came out and said they were seeking a black head coach. Their top candidates were majority black head coaches. For me, and I said last night, I think Jason Kidd will probably be gone, because that's just, me thinking ahead of that, of like what you're looking at. But they did put the Chauncey Billups in those, and they put they put other black people who've already been in head coaching position roles. They're on the search already for those. So that's why I said the NFL, to me, I'm not surprised. It's a tiger with the same stripes. It just gets older, and it either is gonna, at some point it's gonna start to fade, where their viewership and the people supporting them is gonna start to fade because majority of their consumers of this different merchandise. Every time you walk out in the street, you see some black dude with a football jersey on and his pants hanging like he's stuck back there in them ages too. But we support that enough, and they're gonna lose that.
So if I told you we got to get rid of our season tickets because
bye.
Oh, you down like that?
So let me tell you, and you need to let's be clear. Solomon is the only one falling out because he will watch the Bucks at the stadium. They be getting blowed out by 20 points, and he's still in the fourth quarter.
When's the last time that happened?
I'm just saying, when I was pregnant.
It's been a minute.
So it's been about 3 years, and I can remember clearly as day, big and pregnant, walking across that parking lot, leaving him there because he wanted to see the last few seconds. See, we almost came back. No, you didn't. They was gone already. They was gone. I'm sitting in the car. So me and you watch the games. I'm okay with it. If we left those tickets, that'll be fine. I'm not gonna be sad.
You ain't a diehard. Hey, who wants to go to the Buck game with me?
I'll go.
Next to
Look, just as long as you pay me my half, because I don't pay for my.
They don't play the Browns this year, though. Lucky for them. Well, in the Super Bowl, you will.
Oh goodness.
Okay. Well, it won't be a home game for us like it was last year. So we're going to take our last commercial break. We're going to come back. I got a couple things I want to discuss and liven it up a little bit. No, we're going to liven it up a little bit. That was a little bit of a topic that was bitter, and I just wanted to get that off my chest. But we're going to have a little fun in this last segment before we get out of here. Okay. So y'all listen to this next song, and we'll be back on the other side. His, hers, and ours.
I know what you did. Yeah, I know. And I want to talk about it. And I know you don't. I've been holding guard for so long, and I don't know where to start. I don't know where to start now. Tell me when you hide, where do you go? Tell me is she nice? Does she know I know? Tell me why you lie. Tell me why. I don't know what you are. I don't know what you are now. What you did? Yeah, you know I love you, but I can't forgive it. You could tell me stay, but I have to go. 'Cause I would not expect someone to stay around if I let them down. Oh, it's funny how right when I let my guard down, you play around. And no, not this time, but we can't hate shit out. It's too late for me to stay. I wish all the things you say was what your behavior display. No, I could've done without lies. And no, the one I love is blind. This just don't feel right. Ain't no more we, ain't no more you, me. What you did? Yeah, you know I love you, but I can't forgive. You could tell me stay, but I have to go. 'Cause I would not expect someone to stay around if I let them down. Oh, what you did? Yeah, you know I love you, but I can't forgive. You could tell me stay, but I have to go. 'Cause I would not expect someone to stay around if I let them down. Oh, you did come to me, said I'm so down. Oh, I won't excuse it. I don't wanna go down. Do you know that you've been the reason I'm so low? So you tell me to stay here, but you know that I won't. 'Cause I still can't believe what you did. No. Yeah, you know I love you, but I can't forgive it. You could tell me stay, but I have to go. 'Cause I would not expect someone to stay around if I let them down. Oh, what you did? Yeah, you know I love you, but I can't forgive it. You could tell me stay, but I have to go. 'Cause I would not expect someone to stay around if I let them down. I did well. Don't apologize. I would never do it, baby. Don't try to change my mind, please. Don't try to change my mind.
We are back. Final segment of his, hers, and ours. I am Solomon Davis with.
Shannon Royal Davis.
We're going to have a little bit of fun for this last segment. I want to
right.
get some unfiltered, unadulterated,
Okay.
real thoughts from you on air. I want you to hold no punches.
So that means this is going to be something really personal that you're going to ask, but I got
I'm
it.
just
No
gonna fire-
problem.
I'm
It is
fire-
what it is.
I'm gonna fire a series of
Your
questions out there.
embarrassment. Go ahead.
Listen, I ain't got nothing to be embarrassed
Let's
about.
go.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. When you already ready, when you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready.
Yeah. Other than marrying me, what's the best decision you've made in your life?
Oh my God, that's funny. Best
Sound,
decision.
sound. Rich says there's no sound. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So, best decision. Always choosing me, betting on me.
Always betting on you.
Yep, absolutely.
So you bet on you when you married me?
Yeah, bet on me.
Okay.
Absolutely.
What do you love most about being married to me?
Honestly, the openness, the way we communicate about things, even when it's uncomfortable conversations. It's just the candidness, being able to just be like unfiltered, there's nothing to hide. Like, it's always a genuine conversation about everything. So, yeah.
If you had to pick one thing you can improve about our marriage, what would it be?
Can I come back to that one?
Nope.
This ain't like on Family Feud when you go next. If I had one thing that I would say to improve on, and this is about just our marriage in general.
Take the question how you want.
Oh, wait, repeat that question, please.
If you had one thing that you can improve on in our marriage, what would it be?
Alex, I will say for me, it's going to be, it's Alex Trebek, right? It's Alex. Anyway, for me, I think it'll honestly be, there's two things I'd probably say. Most of it is just my communication to you. Mm-hmm. And probably just, I don't know, I want to say the romance area for me. I'll improve that. I'll say being like romantic. I've been taking stabs at it because I'm not super romantic.
Stabs with a butter knife.
So that's what you're gonna do.
Stabs with a butter knife.
Whatever. But just understanding that part, because I understand what romance looks like to me in my mind. But being able to relay that to you is something I want to work on, or I'll fix.
What would you like most people to remember about us as a couple?
I don't know. I ain't thinking that far ahead. Like, I don't know. They can remember whatever they want to, because remember what I said to you about I don't live my life for the approval of someone else. I think that if they remember anything, it's just that we're candid, we're honest. So that's probably one of the things. I don't know if we always honest with each other, but I think that just being honest in general, that we're a candid couple, very honest and open.
So you say, and now I'm going impromptu because
I
you said we're not
that.
always honest with each other. When are you not honest with me?
When I look, I'm always honest with you.
You didn't say that.
I don't
now
like
you're contradicting yourself.
Nah. I didn't say it was me. I didn't say it was you. I just said sometimes I think we be honest with each other. Maybe sometimes how we feel about things. And that may be something that we have to work on. Because I think that sometimes when we're feeling a way, we don't always come to each other immediately. We don't try and address it immediately as like when it should. Sometimes it just sits there and fester. Mm-hmm. And I think that if we just say it up front, just be honest about that, I think that'll be cool.
Okay, I got that.
Well, let me ask you.
Hold on. No, I'm not done.
Go ahead.
What's your favorite memory of us as a couple?
Favorite memory of us as a couple? Probably, I would say probably last year, our anniversary trip.
Mm-hmm. What made that so memorable?
For one, you actually was able to take a vacation for our anniversary. You made the plans. Everything was done very well. Like you executed all the plans. Everything was in place. So that was probably my most memorable one, because there was several that we've never had the opportunity to go. We always end up locally. So I think that was probably my most memorable one.
What's more important to you, the ride or the destination?
The ride, most definitely.
Because?
You can choose it. The destination can change. It's just a journey that it takes to get there. You get so many life lessons. You're learning things in the process. So that's why I say the ride, because even that there's growth, there's failures, there's hurt, but it's also redemption in the ride. So I'll take the ride all day.
Tell me something new you've learned in the last week.
About just in general, the whole NFL issue. That was what I learned new.
If you could live to be 90.
I'm gonna let it be like at least 100, because my grandma is, and her mom. We got some good genes over there on that
so
side.
if you can live to be 100,
okay.
Would you keep your looks as they are right now, or your mind as it is right now?
My mind, because I want to be sharp. I want to still be able to like snap at people, say what I want to. I keep the mind. The looks will fade. I always be cute. Boy, what you talking about?
So even at 100, it's gonna be hot girl summer.
It's gonna be fine girl fall. Don't play. We ain't even sure. Summer gonna get whatever it's gonna get. We gonna work for the fall. Fall is the goal.
Okay. What song best describes your life right now?
Crazy stupid love. No, I'm joking. I don't know. Probably crazy in love, maybe.
I get you like that.
Nah, that ain't got nothing to do with you. It said describes me. That could be just me.
I said describes your life.
My life. That's my life. Crazy in love. I love everything that's going on. I love my family. So everything is fine. Like I don't really think that there's a particular song that I'll say to describe my life right now. I'm just in a growing spot.
Where do you see us in 5 years?
I don't know.
What you mean you don't know?
We better be married, I guess. I don't know. Raising that little kid. You crying on the first day of her when she go to middle school or something. But other than that, yeah. I think like it will be like in a more calm place in the sense of like our life is kind of busy. I think our life is calm right now. It's gonna pick up. I think it'll be hectic. Just trying to figure out all the stuff. You forget we got a little kid, so when you say 10 years from now, that she only 3, so we'll be at somebody's softball field, basketball, some dance recital, something, because she's gonna make us feel that way.
Okay. And lastly, if there was a movie made on your life, who would play you?
Who would play me? Man, I'm gonna punch you because I already know what your face is because I'm gonna hit you. I already know what you said in your head. Who would play me? Let's see. Probably Tiffany Haddish. I don't even like her as an actress, but probably her in the sense because she's able to she's willing to try anything. It's like she's gonna be FloJo in the movie that they doing for her autobiography. I want to see how that goes down, but I think I'm funny. I think she'll be all right. Okay. I would have, if I was doing classic, I probably would have said Angela Bassett because she plays those mama roles, those roles really well. So,
but it encompasses your life. So I mean, who would be younger, Shannon?
She too old. Younger me. I don't know. I don't even pay attention to these kids like that. They be out here doing all this other stuff.
But you always know the roles that they play. I mean, they're always double the age that they're supposed to be playing.
It's okay. Who played?
So they could be 35 playing a 20-year-old.
It's okay. We're just gonna stick with what I said. She ain't gonna win no Oscar. She just gonna be as long like. So this is why I say her. Because I don't think she'll ever win an Oscar, but she's going to always steady try those different roles, and she's going to always bring herself to whatever it is. And that's me. I ain't got to be the best up here, even though I'm not top at your list, but I'm saying I don't have to be the best. I'm just always going to be me. I'm steady. I'm comfortable with being in my own skin. And so I think that's where she is right now anyway. So if somebody had to play me, it'd probably be her.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, we got 9 minutes left before 6 o'clock. So if you want to ask some questions,
so what does romance look like to you?
Romance is happiness. I mean, doing whatever I can do to make my spouse, my significant other, my mate feel like she and I are the only two people that are in that moment, that she's lost in that moment. I put her in a space to whereas nothing else matters right now. She is totally focused on me and knows that I'm encompassed in her.
Okay. If you could change one thing about our relationship, what would it be? Or I won't say change, I'll say improve.
If I can improve one thing, the frequency of which you cook.
Solomon, don't do that.
I mean, you asked.
So you had like I don't cook.
Yeah, I'm saying you don't cook, but maybe your cooking is so bomb. I want it all the time.
Man, I got
because you. That taco salad
that's what I heard.
That taco salad last night.
Because let me explain something. For him to say the frequency in which I cook, this man be on like intermittent fasting. So if I'm cooking, a lot of times I will start like, so you lose interest in cooking. Like Solomon know I like that. I have fun cooking. I do. I like to try different recipes, play with different things. But he's the type that if he ain't in the mood for that day, he ain't gonna tell you that. He be like, yeah, I'm gonna eat it. You go in there after it's time to go to bed. You putting the food away. At this point, you see he ain't ate nothing. How motivating is that? So I'm gonna need you to change something you're doing
like
about
I said, the taco salad last night, that was bomb. You, in my eyes, you're a phenomenal chef. You know, I always tell you, babe, that was off the chain right there. I like that. So I mean, just do it a little bit more. Okay.
So if you live to be 100 years old, what would you want to stay? Your looks or your mind?
I want my mind. My mind is always gonna put me in a space where I'm gonna be at some type of advantage in a situation. So.
Okay, so are you enjoying the ride or the journey? I mean, the destination, rather.
I don't know what the destination is, so I'm gonna say the ride. because I don't see a destination anytime soon. We just going on it together.
Okay, I can get that. So, are you happy with the sex life that you currently have?
Yeah.
Or what could be? Just like, yeah. Well, what would enhance that for you?
What would enhance the sex life that I currently have?
Never mind. That's gonna be it for today's people because I already know this.
What you want? You asked the question.
I don't want it. I don't even want that answer. I'm good on it. I'm good. No, sir. I'm rescinding that question. Thank you. I'm good on that.
So you gonna do like?
Are you?
Do I need to be like Joe Biden, where Donald Trump rescinded Harriet Tubman on the $20 bill? Joe Biden putting it back in the play.
He putting it back in play. So let me change up that question. Are you happy with the frequency in which you receive, like you're getting it? What could be better about it? Go ahead.
What could be better about the frequency of our sex life? Is that the question?
Yeah, go ahead. What can
I mean, that's the answer is always going to be I'm going to always want more of it. I mean, who's going to say I want less sex? I mean,
nobody.
Oh Lord, never mind. Okay. So what would you say would be to improve it? What would need to happen?
To improve what?
Our sex life.
Our sex life?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I get out of the shower one day and just come into the bedroom, and you might be laying in the bed with a blonde wig on or something. You know, some type of role playing.
Okay, gotcha. Note to self. You didn't like when I was the masseuse this weekend? Like,
oh, that was off the chain. Y'all don't want to know about that.
All right.
Y'all don't want me to go into details on that one.
But no, I think that I think for men, I know women, we like to be pursued, and like, you know, people like we want to be wooed, and I think that we don't get to hear from men what they like enough. So that's why I asked the question about what does romance look like, because while we automatically assume you guys know how to romance us because you're trying to get us in the bed, so you're gonna do all your finesse game, but that's something that that was for me. That's my weakness. I don't know how to do that.
Well, think about this, you know, and I've told you and, you know, a couple of your friends, you know, single females that have been saying, you know, what am I missing, this, that, and what have you. Oh, you know, I don't know how to do that to a guy. What do I always say? You know what you like done to you, just do the same thing in return.
But the thing is,
so if you know that, hey, I like receiving small little gifts or tokens of affection here or there, do that to him. Until he tells you no, hey, babe, you know, you really don't have to do it. I appreciate it, but you don't have to do it. Then do it. Serge, I got this thing that I tell her, man, and she swears it don't work, but it got her. Unexpected gift at an unexpected time. You give a woman a gift that she's not aware of and give it to her at a time she's not expecting, it's going to blow her mind.
I think that's sweet, but that's not a necessity to me. Like, I value your time. I value being able to sit up. Like, Solomon will tell you, on a weekend, if I need to make my runs, it's before 12 noon, before game day go off on Saturday. I want to see everything about, like, I got to get my stuff done, be back home in time to see my team. Like, I have to figure out what time my team playing so I can get all my stuff done. I don't have to go anywhere on the weekend. I ain't got to hang out with nobody. I can cook and make my own stuff and chill in the house. I'm comfortable like that. It doesn't take you to have to buy me a gift for me to understand that you love me. Like, we can go on these little dates. Like, I've been making it my business to take him on different dates to different restaurants and trying to sexy it up a little bit or whatever. But for me, it doesn't take those little gifts. Now, while it's cute and it's appreciative, it's sweet and thoughtful, he's made me have to be like that with him because that's how he remembers things, by gifts.
So you heard what she just said, right? You know, I get my errands done so I can watch my team and what have you. Now, imagine this. It's Saturday. Her team comes on at 3 o'clock. And I tell her at 8 o'clock, listen, man, I didn't tell you, but we got some things that I need to take care of that, you know, we need to get something done with this house. You need to get dressed and we need to get on the road right now, you know, and just drive to Miami or Orlando or something like that to see her team play on a Saturday. And don't tell her that's where we're going. What you think gonna happen?
Because he didn't tell me how to get dressed. But I'm 9 times I'm telling him I have my team gear on anyway. Don't surprise me like that, though.
Okay.
Yeah,
you know, then we show up in the stadium with her team. What you think gonna happen? Oh, babe, that was so man, I'm gonna get anything I want on the way home. Unexpected gift, unexpected time.
I guess we'll see how that work out. But no, I think that's sweet. I do. I like that idea, and you know, I've bought into it. So I do different things and try and be. Maybe it's not as frequent as you. But I do try and do those things, and I think that women should do it as well. I think that probably the sexiest thing you did was the other day, where you ran my bath water, had the candles. Now he's done that before, but you actually bathed me like I can bathe myself, but it was sweet. It was really nice, and it was just a moment that, like, and I was thinking in my mind, if something ever happened to me, he really would take care of me. He would make sure I was okay. So that was for me more of, gosh, like you say how women be having a project. That was in my mind, like, okay, I found somebody that's gonna do that for me.
Project.
If anything happened, you want no dark
It was
project.
a plan.
I guess, whatever.
You're like, okay, now I understand if something happened to me, I'm taking care
I'm
of. So
okay.
that's your project fulfilled.
Whatever. It's not a project fulfilled. It's just the fact that you want to always be with somebody that makes sure that it's not just those words to say till death do us part or sickness and health. Like, it's more than just the words. So it's just actions, and I thought it was really sweet. So I'm most
So that brought you
appreciative.
to complete satisfaction. You were happy. You were at a point where you realized, hey, this dude's here for the long run. He's got my back.
I don't know, because like Dion said it best the other day. A woman will tell you what she wants. You just have to listen. She's gonna give you exactly what she wants you to be given in return. So sometimes I guess like those signals was off early on in this thing. Maybe they finally finding their space.
So you're happy.
Yeah, I'm happy.
You're secure.
Secure high.
I mean, you're happy in the space you're in. You're secure in
Yeah.
your marriage. I mean, you're at the point that at 42 years old, you're saying, "Hey, I'm good with life right now."
Yeah, I question it sometimes.
You questioned it, but right
Yeah.
now at this point,
Right now, yeah, it's good.
And so we're gonna end on this. I've never been her MCM. We'll see you next week on his, hers, and ours.
He'll be Monday. I ain't never been his WCW either.
There you go.
Don't play with me.
It's gonna be a good week.
Yeah, so we finna do this. I started to do that the other day when you was like being a jerk, and you was like, yeah, you don't never post such and such. I was finna just blast the whole page with the whole thing and be just like, oh, this my husband, boo boo. Man, come on. Thanks, Serge.
All right, we out of here.